I get a lot of requests for a video on how to declutter a bathroom cabinet. So that's what I'm going to do in this video, and this is my bathroom cabinet behind me. Now I'm going to confess, I've actually messed it up for this video. It's not in its usual state. What I've tried to do is replicate the sort of thing that I see when I work with people in their bathrooms. So let's have a look. So you'll see that it's kind of messy inside. There's a combination of medicines and toiletries and cleaning materials and so on, and something fell out when I opened the door and it's all messed up inside, and we need to sort it out. So the first thing to do, as always, is to get everything out. So let's do that now. So there we go. It's amazing how much one bathroom cabinet can hold. I've left this one thing in it because it's leaked a bit and it needs a wipe. And the second thing to do is to give the whole thing a wipe out so it can be drying, ready for stuff to go back in it once we've sorted it out. So I'm going to do that now. All right, now let's start going through all this stuff. Space is a little tight here, so I hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to use these two baskets to corral some of the items. It's a really good idea to corral some of your items inside the cupboard. I'm going to use one for medicines, and I'm going to use one for some of the toiletry cosmetics items that I can lie down. What I'm doing here is I'm going through and sorting out the medicines and putting them into this red container. I'm checking each one to see if it's still in date. And if it's badly out of date, I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to take it to, for example, that is very badly out of date. So I'm going to take that to a pharmacy. That's the best thing to do with them in the UK, is to take them to a pharmacy for disposal. It's a bit different in the States, so you need to look that up on the FDA's website as to what the best way of disposing of medicines in your area. This one is one of those, you're supposed to take it and it stops a cold starting, and I don't actually think it does anything. So I'm actually going to get rid of that. So I think it was a bad buy, and that's going to go. I can go in there. And now, and the yellow crate, which is here, it's a bit short of space here, but the yellow crate, which is just off camera here, that's where I'm starting to put toiletries rather than medicines. And I've also got lots of toilet rolls. Now they're going to go, I'm going to put them in the section of the cupboard there once it's dried out. So I'm just going to move them to one side so that when that's dry I can put them all in one shelf of the cupboard. I've got several containers of talcum powder here. You only need to keep one spare of each thing. Now, I'm going to keep these till I've used them up, but I'm not going to buy any more talcum powder until I'm down to the one that's in use and one spare. And then when I start using the spare, I'll add talcum powder to my shopping list, so I'll always have one spare so I don't actually run out. Right, I changed my mind as I was going through there, and I've ended up putting in this container medicines. Most of my medicines are in there. That container's going to go up there. And then in this container is, it's still medicines, but I found I had an awful lot of, I had too much for one basket, and I had a lot of the same kind of thing, which is this front section is all kind of painkillers, ibuprofen, paracetamol and so on. So that's what's at the front there, and at the back there is spare tooth things like a spare toothbrush head, toothpaste and floss, and that's going to go there. Okay, and then that leaves me with the toilet rolls, which I'm going to put back in that bottom left hand corner. And the other stuff that I'm left with is stuff that I use often, so I'm going to put that at the front of the cabinet, and stuff that needs to stand up. And so it needs to go in a high section like that. And I'm going to put right at the back the stuff that I don't use very often. So for example, I don't use cough mixture very often, but I want it when I need it. So it's going to go at the back behind this pipe, where it's not that accessible, but I can get it if I need it, and it'll stand up safely and won't get knocked over as I get other things out of the cupboard. Again, as I fill this section, I'm putting towards the back the things that I use less often, and the things I use more often are going to go towards the front. There we go, tilt the camera back up. Right, there we go, you can see that's much neater now. I can access things much easier. When I need to get medicines, I can go to one of these two containers. When I need toilet rolls, they're easily accessible. My other stuff is easily accessible, stuff that I use there on the top right. And I've got a few things to get rid of, and that's my bathroom cabinet all organised. In terms of moving on, toiletries and cosmetics, so for example, if I don't want this bubble bath, if it's completely sealed, if it's got a seal across the top, then you can give it to a charity shop or a thrift store. But if, like this one, it's actually open inside, they can't sell them, they can't take them usually. So the best thing to do with those is to put them on your local free cycle group. I find a mixed bag of toiletries and cosmetics tends to go really well. So there you go. Toiletries and cosmetics in your bathroom cabinet and medicines all organised. I hope you found that video helpful. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.